You know, I originally wasn't going to do a review for A Quiet Place, but since my analysis for the Florida project is currently undergoing kind of a serious copyright dispute, I figured why not just go ahead and do a review for Jim's directorial debut. So A Quiet Place is of course written and directed by John Krasinkis, who pretty much everybody knows from The Office, which is a brilliant show.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
There's obviously no need for me to explain the premise of this movie. Everybody already knows the premise of this movie. I usually don't at all go into the plot of movies anyway, but this one especially, I shouldn't have to. I mean, it's in the damn title of the movie. But okay, so everybody's been raving about this movie. Pretty much everybody that I've talked to, both casual and actual critical people, have said that they really like this movie a lot. It's got an insanely high score on Rotten Tomatoes right now. And guess what, guys? This movie's fucking great. This movie's awesome. But before I really start diving into my thoughts in regards to this film, I just want to let you guys know that my theater experience was displeasing, to say the least. As it always is for me, I just have the worst luck when it comes to movie theater experiences. Everybody who I've talked to who went to go see this movie said they had absolutely no problem with the audience because just the nature of the film kind of forced the audience to really be quiet. But of course, I have to sit in front of the four of the most passive-aggressively annoying audience members I've ever come to meet. And to be quite honest, they really weren't that obnoxiously bad. It's not like they were loud. But what they were doing was just constant snickering throughout the whole movie that wasn't insanely loud. Again, if you sat like 10 feet away from them, maybe you couldn't hear it. But since we sat in front of them, we literally had to endure everything. And it was just a lot of just like murmuring and just snickering. And the worst part that really just got under my skin was just the constant chewing of popcorn throughout the entire movie.
That is totally inappropriate.
It did not stop. It was occurring through the first 5 minutes and I just figured, well, it'll stop eventually. I mean, how much popcorn does this motherfucker have? I mean, he can't have that much. But no, apparently he had a full-ass bucket of popcorn. He was munching on that shit throughout the entirety of the film. And I know some people out there are probably saying, oh man, this dude's uptight as hell. Like, damn, I can't even chew popcorn while watching a movie. Look, it's annoying as shit, especially with a movie called A Quiet Place. And I don't care if you eat your popcorn, but why do you have to constantly chew on it, especially throughout the really intense parts that really demand for everybody just to be quiet? You really think I'm crazy? Let me just show you what it's like to have the sound of somebody munching on popcorn through your favorite intense moments in horror films.
Doing down here?
I just wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
Thank God.
Okay, let me stop ranting about that and actually get to the substance of this video that y'all came here for. And since we're talking about sound, let's go ahead and discuss the sound design of this film. It's phenomenal. I mean, when you have a film like A Quiet Place that has the premise that essentially says if you make any kind of relatively loud sound, it's gonna be your death. I mean, that just gives filmmakers an excellent opportunity to really utilize and capitalize on some excellent sound design. And this film really utilized that a lot. I would say that this is definitely a film that you should try to go out and see in theaters because the sound design is excellent when you see this on the big screen and with surround sound. Unless you have surround sound at your house, then, that could probably make for a really good experience as well. But most people don't have that. So I would highly recommend seeing this in a theater because it really gives you an excellent, immersive, and really intense movie-going experience. There was a pretty loud fake jump scare in this movie that, naturally is gonna annoy me because I just don't like really loud fake jump scares. But it happened once and it never did it again. And there's also other kind of jump scare-ish moments in the movie, but it really does a good job with them because most of the actual jump scares weren't that insanely loud with the audio. You know, it's there and it's still intense, but in my opinion, it wasn't really like trying just to get you to jump out of your seat. The acting in this film, by the way, is extraordinary. I mean, Emily Blunt, of course, gives you an excellent performance. You really buy every single reaction that she gives throughout this film, and you really tell that she is a mother. She is someone who really, really cares about the well-being of her children. You know, John Krasinski's character, sure, he also really cares about family and the children, but Emily Blunt's character really gives you this sense of motherhood and really allows you to understand that she does truly care about the safety of her children, and those are the parents' first priorities in this film is we have to take care of the children. And why would Emily Blunt get pregnant and bring another child into this world? You know, obviously, that was probably a mistake. I mean, sexy time does not stop even under an apocalyptic standard. So I think obviously the film was trying to convey that the pregnancy wasn't necessarily intentional, but it just happened, which I thought, you know, was pretty cool and it wasn't really unrealistic. I really enjoyed how they conveyed this aspect of the film. And of course, with a film like A Quiet Place, that kind of plot element can really set up for some excellently intense scenes. And of course it does. I mean, when we talk about this film, usually when I talk about film in general, I like to separate them, well, not just me, but film critics in general usually separate films by the first act, second act, and third act. I wouldn't really classify this film that way. I wouldn't say that this film has a first, second, and third act. I would say that there's one half and the second half. The first half that just establishes everything so well in terms of environment, setting, and character, and all that stuff, with some intense moments maybe sprinkled in, but not too much, where the second half is just complete intensity and just complete sheer hopelessness at times, where it's really just the entire second half of this film, there really is no breather. I mean, every second this family is finding themselves in some sort of bind that they have to try and get out of, and it was insanely intense, and I was just like baffled at how long I was just at the edge of my seat during the second half of this film. One of my concerns going into this film was that I was kind of worried that it might be a little too surface level and a little superficial in terms of character and theme and all that. But I was wrong. This movie is actually really impactful in terms of character theme, character arc, and just theme in general. You know, I gotta give it to John Krasinski. He did an excellent job at, you know, writing and directing this film. And there were actual moments in this film that I thought were really emotionally impactful, especially the character dynamic that's between John Krasinski's character and his daughter, who, by the way, is deaf in real life. She's deaf in the movie, but apparently she's deaf in real life, which is really, really just brave and ballsy of this actress to do, and for the director John Krasinski to do. So, you know, again, huge props to the director John Krasinski. In my opinion, this really is an excellent film that both casual moviegoers and film lovers can just both go and just have a ball with, because it gives, you know, casuals what they would want out of a film like this. You know, one of the main reasons that, you know, It Comes at Night had a horrible reception among casual moviegoers is, you know, one, people say the marketing was misleading. That's arguable in my opinion, but, you know, mostly it was because It Comes at Night didn't really have that monster element to it. And A Quiet Place definitely delivers on that level. So, you know, everybody who's going to the movie to see like monsters and stuff like that, this movie gives you that. And, you know, for film lovers, you just want to see, you know, an aesthetically, you know, immersive film, a well-acted film, a greatly written film. You know, this is great for film lovers as well. So, you know, again, giving more props to John Krasinski. It's really impressive that he was able to reach both casuals and film lovers with this film, and it's his first film, so again, you know, that's just really great. I personally found this film to be incredibly immersive. The sound design of this film is immaculate. It's a brilliantly acted film. It's a really well written film. The cinematography, which I haven't spoke about yet, was also incredible in this film. It really does a great job at being creative in terms of how it wanted to build up tension and how it wanted to convey certain elements of its story and character just visually without any words spoken. That's also a really impressive aspect of this film. I really had a ball with this film, so I'm going to give A Quiet Place a 9 out of 10. By the way, you know the scene in the trailer that everybody knows about where they're trying to cross the bridge and then the boy brings out the toy jet and it makes a noise and then the monster starts coming after him? When that scene, you know, was what was about to appear on screen when I was watching it, I had a feeling. I was like, oh, well, you know, this is probably a good scene, but it was completely spoiled by the trailer, so I'm not going to really get the impact from it. I was pleasantly surprised because that scene is actually filmed way different than the way it's portrayed in the trailer. And the way that it was captured, I thought was, again, just really well done and immersive. And I found myself really enjoying that scene when I really thought I wasn't going to. And again, great scene, great film. I'm actually surprised to see how much I'm actually liking this film. Because usually when films like this are like universally loved, there tends to be certain things about it that will bug me and that I just like want to just talk about because I want to get these issues out there. But I couldn't find much about this film that I disliked. I really enjoyed a lot of it. So anyway, thank you so much for hearing what I had to say about A Quiet Place. If you've already seen it, please comment below and let me know your thoughts about it. And perhaps stay tuned because I am trying to get my analysis for the Florida project up. I'm trying my best. I already filed the dispute. All I really can do right now is just wait and see what they do about it. If that doesn't go through, then I'm just gonna have to unfortunately just resort to just using stills and no copyrighted clips at all, which sucks because it's probably gonna dilute the product. But whatever, you know, YouTube's just kind of screwing me in the butt right now, so just kind of have to take it, unfortunately. But anyways, thank you so much for clicking on this video, and if you really enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the Misfit Pawn channel to be updated on more film-related content.